Hey everyone, quick video, or should I say not so quick, like 20 minutes or so probably take. This is one of my clients, Gio, if you want to say hello.
Hi, hello guys.
And then we're just gonna go kind of through what he done with me. It's been like 2 years since he started, like the problems he had, and pretty much his experience with the program, right? So to give just a little bit of a background in on Geo, it's pretty much you've been what training for 15 plus years before we
Yes.
met. Yeah, 15 years or so. Um, runs businesses. I was gonna say business, but multiple businesses, and then has 4 kids and travels a lot. So yeah, pretty much really busy guy. Yeah,
Very.
yeah. So yeah, do you want to introduce yourself before we go into it of how old you are and then like what you do for work?
Okay, so hi, my name is Gio. I'm 35, turning 36
Okay.
very soon, and I do run some properties in Brazil. I do some commodities trading, so then that requires some traveling as well. Um, Along line other things, but yeah, those are the main bits that makes me travel quite a bit actually.
Okay. Cool. So going on to that, because also I know you trained for like many years before we even like met.
Yes.
What was your life like before joining like the JRPT? Like what struggles did you face with like
I've always trained, I don't know, since I was 16 or whatever,
Mm,
and I never believed one that my body could transform or grow or both. So then I kept on going to the gym because I just felt like that was the right thing to do for me to stay fit in the best way I could. But I never believed I could change my body, I could transform it, I could change habits. Yeah, a lot, anything like that. I just didn't believe it.
yeah. It's a lot like I do like speak to a lot of guys to be fair that have gone gym just for the sake of going because everyone knows. Like
And exactly, I was doing what I thought I knew or had learned because I did have many personal trainers before you, as you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And nothing really happened.
yeah. Yeah, so it was more because like I always said, everyone knows you know not to eat shit food, you know not to go to Mackey's, and you know that going gym does you well, right? It's not everyone knows that,
Exactly.
right? But then actually doing the right thing or to where you want to get is a different story. So saying that, like, what have you tried? Like, what are the things that you tried before meeting me, and like, why didn't they work so well? Do you feel like?
Well, before you, I've always had PTs. I think from the age of 21, I started having personal trainers, and I was seeing some of them maybe three, sometimes four times a week.
Hmm.
And it was mainly around training, but I felt like they didn't really understand what I wanted, or they probably wanted to do whatever they wanted to do. Um, my lower back, as you know, I have a little bit of an issue with my lower back. That was never respected or put into account, sorry. For instance, it's the first time in my life, in the 2 years that we've been training together, that I haven't had back pains. And I go to the gym and I'm lifting really heavy.
Hmm.
And I think with your program, and I think the way your attention to detail and obviously this personalized client relationship that you have with us is very
Hmm.
important because you're always checking. Your app is something that I never believed in. I never had an
I don't
app.
know.
You know me, and I'm like, no, it's not going to work.
Yeah,
It works really well. It tracks me. It actually helps me not to cheat on myself because I used to cheat a lot myself in the
I
gym.
know. I know.
But yeah, and then because I knew you would be checking it, so then I make sure I go all the way and I
Yeah.
train as hard as I can without you when we're not together.
Hmm.
So yeah,
Yeah, it's like yeah, it's different. It's like training because like one-to-one training, it's cool, but then if when I'm not there, which is what the other 167 hours of the week,
yes,
that's like 99% of your life when it comes to the nutrition, like you said, habits, which we'll go to in a second, but even like training. If you train well, let's say with someone in person, but then the other 3, 4 sessions you don't, you're gonna get like 20% of the result. So I think like a lot of it with you at the start was just training you or training your mind more than your body, training your mind to push your body. So it was like a big limitation, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
and
Yeah,
I
really.
think yes, with you is just also the mindset. You're very subtly, you're like subtly, it helped me to engage my brain to wanting to change as well, I suppose.
Yeah.
Even though I didn't, I still, when I joined, with you, I still didn't believe I was going to be able to transform my body. And then you like slowly made me believe that, yeah, Drew,
Mm,
if you really want to, you got to put in the work. Let's do this together. Let's cut a little bit of this, cut a little bit of that, increase a little bit of this, increase a little bit of that. Nice and slow. And I
mm.
would say, no, now I would say, sorry, I can tell you that I am probably my happiest that
Nice.
I've ever been with my body.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
good. And it's like after 15 years of training, right? Because
Yes.
a lot of guys, especially in first like mid 30s, always come to me and say, "Oh, my primer's gone. Like, that was my 20s, and now it's a lot harder." I was like, "No, it's so ahead of time. Like still, and we can do like what we've done in like 2 years. Like when you look back at the pictures, it's crazy. And that's someone that's already trained, like had even a decent foundation, had like what, like eight, nine PTs, and we still managed to the gap that we still managed to create and like achieve was like insane. So
It was. Really
yeah,
was. And it still is. And when I go now to the gym by myself, I'm so confident about the workouts. Even though, I mean, legs, it's my the hardest for me
yeah,
alone. But I walk in and I'm very confident, and my mind is in the right place. My breathing, my core, everything is just perfect. So then I am confident. I know I'm not going to hurt
yeah,
my back. I know what to do. I'm not scared of pushing my limits, even when
mm,
I'm alone. So that's down to, our relationship because you've been like slowly getting me to that point. So
yeah,
yes, winning.
yeah. It's like a long term game. I feel like when it comes to the mindset, it just takes longer, right?
Yeah.
Saying that, then what was the biggest like game changer since you probably like joined? I know you're probably gonna say the app, right? Like, what was the biggest game changer for you?
Well, my abs, you mean, or the app?
The abs as well.
Sorry.
The app. I meant the app. Like, because I know you were really against that, and I was like, nah, this needs to be done.
My game changer was the app. You're right. That was definitely something that I mean, I think for the first 2 or 3 months, I was really funny. I wasn't going, do you remember? I was not
Yeah,
signing into the app. And you're like, gee, why are you not signing in? I'm like, well, it's not going to work for me.
yeah,
And then eventually you signed me in. And
yeah,
then I started going. And then now, if you notice as well, I'm updating my weight.
yeah. I've seen it. It's every week, every week it's
Yes.
getting better.
So it's so amazing, and I brag about it to so many people I meet around the world. I'm like, well, my PT, he tracks me anywhere I am, blah blah blah, everywhere I am, really,
Yeah,
and that's really good. So that was probably my game changer because it really feels like I'm being assisted by someone, even though it's an app.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
know you are behind it, so
Yeah, it's just the tracking. Like for you, like to go in there and be like, look at the results, or look, we
yeah,
got last week and be like, well, I need to beat that to improve. Rather than
yes,
just go in there and be like, even if you knew the program, if you didn't have anything to try and beat or be competitive with, you lose drive. Oh, I'll put random weights on. I'll do this. Do you know what I mean? I feel like
yes, totally.
yeah, um, yeah. Saying that though, so. Because there's a lot of guys like I said I speak to on a daily basis, and a lot of people come to me like in your shoes, like business owners or people that work like 50 plus hours, have kids, and they just struggle to stay consistent. So like, what would you say for like yourself, like not me, like what helps you stay on track, like even when the motivation is like low or when things are not like perfect?
I think what really ma- motivates me, what really helps me to stay on track is I think what I want to say we've had a chat, and then you said, no matter what happens, you need to dedicate an hour for yourself to exercise. And then I started using the calendar as well to make sure that I block
Mm.
an hour out of my day. So no matter what happens, if I'm having the best day, if I'm having a very bad day, if I'm having a very lazy day, if I am coming back from a big night out,
Yeah,
I push myself to the gym, and even if I do half a session,
Yeah.
I'll still do it, and it makes me feel a lot better.
Yeah, half an
And
hour.
I would say, especially when I'm having a bad day at work or whatever, and then I do go to the gym. That
Yeah.
helps me so much.
Yeah, I always say this, like the structure is there, but if you can only show up for like half an hour, 45 minutes, like when you on holiday or like travel for work, I was like, yeah, just get it in because mentally, yeah, physically we'll be able to maintain it. It doesn't always have to be going skyrocket.
Yes.
Some stage of life you just have to maintain and do the best, and then but mentally, there's always going to be the benefit there, which is what I've like said. So the half an hour,
Oh,
like you said,
totally.
it is good. Um,
I agree.
yeah. Obviously, people probably seen your progress pictures. If not, if I remember, if editing Joao remembers to put this up, obviously, like your body has like changed a lot, like since starting, right?
Yes.
That is cool. What are the like biggest changes you've seen or noticed in the way like you feel, in the way you feel?
I know. Well, now I see I actually look at myself in the mirror and I can see changes, and it's just staying
Yeah.
solid. I never wanted to be big, you know that, because we
Yeah.
talked a lot about it. But my body is all trim, and I love that.
And I see
You
a
know,
round.
I look at myself in the mirror. I like the way my chest looks, my abs, my legs.
Mm.
Still need to work harder on my legs, but I'm happy about it now. And that's really cool. And also, I receive a lot of compliments from people in most weird ways. Like last night, I went out to dinner and then I bumped into some people I know, and they said that they had a dinner party and they were all going on about my body. And then apparently I was the topic of the night.
Start of the night. Look at that.
That was
I
really funny.
mean,
They were telling me it took me a minute to realize that they were actually talking about me and my body. And I was like, what? I said, what was that about? And they're like, oh no, we decided to show your body transformation online, Geo. I was like, oh, interesting.
we'll be on the magazine soon. Watch.
Yeah.
Watch.
Yes. Let's do
Men's
it, Joel.
health.
Let's do it.
We've got on men's health.
Yes.
But cool, 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 cool. Yeah, that is very cool to be fair. Yeah, I know you get
Yeah,
that
that
a
was
lot,
funny.
especially when you go on holiday, right? But like when you're, that's when
Yeah.
you get the big, big compliments come through.
Yes,
I
yes.
understand, yeah. Yeah, that's funny that that's happened last night. So well, what's like being like work? Because obviously you worked a lot of PTs. You've had loads of probably like different experiences. How has working with me as like your coach for the last 2 years helped you like in your journey?
I love the I love a lot of I love a lot of things about the way we work because
Yeah.
uh, mentally you are very very strong for me, so you don't entertain a lot of my small talks when I'm at it. I have to work out. I have to work out,
Yeah.
so you don't really like give me a lot of space there, which is fantastic. um but also you know you said something to me that was a game changer for me. And that was one of the things that I was like, wow, this guy really means business. He said, look, Gio, I kept on going back to you talking about how my body wasn't great and my legs and this and that.
Mm.
And he said, look, you need to really understand here that you've got some body dysmorphia and you need to accept it. And we're going to work on this because your body's fine. You just don't
Yeah.
see it. And then from that day, I started really looking at myself differently. And then mentally, you've been there very supportive as well as, you know, workouts, and you're really attentive to my needs. It's not generic. You don't just like do one program for everybody. You're very
Mm.
specific to each one of your clients, and that has been a game changer for me. Also, what is interesting about you is that now we're like past 2 years, you haven't slacked. We're friends, but at the gym are not too friendly, and that's also amazing.
Yeah.
That's really very important
Yeah.
because otherwise, if we become too close, that's it. That's the end of it.
Yeah. I always tell people it's like coach first and friend second.
Totally, and that's how
It's
you
how it
work
should
with
be.
me.
Yeah. I say that to a lot of like even PTs and like coaches. Like when I went to even like speak on stage the other day, I was telling them like it's always got to be coach first. Don't get too comfortable with things, and then you ruin it for the client, not even for yourself. It's just like, and then it just you don't have the you don't start like it's not even respect. It's just you get too comfortable. That's it.
Totally.
The same thing with like my coaches and whatnot. So yeah, there's got to be like a an area, like a good middle line. I think we found. That's what I think it. Yeah.
I agree. I agree with you. And so far, amazing. So it's working out really well. So your method
Okay.
is working, and I'm grateful for it.
Let's see. Yeah. Last few questions. So again, going back, because I know there'll be some guys watching this in the exact same shoes as you, so try and help them out. What would you say to like another business owner, like watching this, or like a guy, mid-30s, really busy, or who feel, too busy to get in shape? What would you say to them? Um, I don't know, maybe like give them the first piece of advice they should do for someone that feels too busy.
Block that hour.
But
Block that
yeah,
hour for yourself. Yes, block
calendar,
the hour.
get the calendar going. That's
Get the calendar going. Block the hour. You're not gonna get any richer or any poorer for an hour.
Yeah, fair fact.
If anything, what I find, and you know that really well, is that also whilst you're training, I mean, the ideas that are popping into your head is amazing because you're just there. It's your moment. It's your me time. I usually have amazing ideas whilst training, so I would say block that hour. That's for me. That for me, that's vital.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Like always on
And
Google
it doesn't
Calendar.
matter where I am.
Yeah,
I always put in the hour.
yeah. It's like yeah, same. I agree with that. Then it's always like what I've said to like everyone, not just you. On your calendar, you need to put your fitness around your life, not just try and be like, oh, put it to the side. It's got to be integrated. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's not going to be constructive with it. It's not going to be like
It, it
100%.
is a known like negotiable hour for me. It's
Yeah,
my hour,
yeah.
totally.
Yeah, 100%. And then last question for like anyone watching this who like is on the fence about, coaching with me. Yeah, what would you tell them?
So if you're really wanting to have a body transformation, feel good, feel better, look better, feel healthier, you need to sign with this guy because I have to say he's younger than me, and it's also I usually don't give younger people a lot of credit, but João has transformed my life. So I vouch for this guy through and through. So if you're on the fence, just jump and join us.
Jump and join us. Yeah, see you on the other side. Uh,
Yes, totally.
but cool. Well, yeah, thank you everybody for like watching and watching this back. And as always, you can just give me a message on Instagram if you got like any questions about me or like Gio's journey. And yeah, boom, we'll do that.
Fantastic.